African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 20th of July, 2024. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of troops defeated the personnel and equipment of the 42nd Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, the 127th Technical Defense Brigade, and the 13th Brigade of the National Guard in the areas of the settlements of Volchansk, Staritsa, Mali Prokody, and Lipsy in the Kharkov region. 3 attacks by assault groups of the 92nd Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and the 36th Marine Brigade were repelled. Enemy losses amounted to up to 185 military personnel, 2 pickup trucks, a 122mm D-30 howitzer, and a Plaston electronic reconnaissance station. Units of the West Group of troops improved the situation along the front line, defeated formations of the 44th, 54th, 60th, 115th, 116th Mechanized Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, 103rd and 110th Military Defense Brigades in the areas settlements Peskino, Petropavlovka, Berestovo in the Kharkov region, Torskoy, Krasny Lyman in the Donetsk People's Republic, and Chervenaya Dybrova in the Lugansk People's Republic. We repelled 2 counterattacks by assault groups of the 66th and 67th Mechanized Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. The enemy lost up to 540 troops, a tank, an armored fighting vehicle, 6 vehicles, a British-made 155mm Braveheart self-propelled artillery mount, 2 122mm Vostok self-propelled artillery mounts, a Bukovel AD electronic warfare station, and a field ammunition depot. Units of the Southern Group of troops continue to occupy more advantageous positions. They defeated the manpower and equipment of the 22nd, 24th, 30th, 72nd Mechanized, 56th Motorized Infantry, 81st Airmobile, 79th and 80th Air Assault Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the areas of Grigorovka settlements, Krasnogorovka, Zaleznyansko, Konstantinovka, Chasov and Regorodok of the Donetsk People's Republic. We repelled 2 counterattacks by units of the 5th Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. Enemy losses amounted to up to 640 military personnel, an armored combat vehicle, and 18 vehicles. During the counter-battery fight, the following were hit: a 155mm self-propelled artillery mount Braveheart made in Great Britain, 155mm howitzers M198 and M777 made in the USA, a 152mm self-propelled artillery mount Acacia, a 152mm howitzer MSTB, 2 152mm D-20 guns, 122mm Vostok self-propelled artillery mount, and 2 105mm L-119 guns made in Great Britain. In addition, the Enclave electronic warfare station and 2 field ammunition depots of the Ukrainian Armed Forces were destroyed. Units of the Center Group of troops improved the tactical situation, defeated the formations of the 32nd, 41st, 47th Mechanized Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the areas of the settlements of Toretsk, Novgorodsko, Rozovka, Progress, and Novoselovka, 1st of the Donetsk People's Republic. 8 counterattacks by assault groups of the 31st, 151st Mechanized, 95th Airborne Assault Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, and the Light Assault Brigade of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine were repelled. The enemy lost up to 280 troops, 4 armored fighting vehicles, 5 cars, a 122mm Vostok self-propelled artillery mount, 2 122mm D-30 howitzers, and 2 100mm Rapier anti-tank guns. Units of the Vostok Group of troops occupied more advantageous positions, defeated the manpower and equipment of the 72nd Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, the 120th, 129th Terrestrial Defense Brigades, and the 21st Brigade of the National Guard in the areas of the settlements of Vermevka, Makarovka, Storozhevoy, Vodyanoy, Razliv, and October of the Donetsk People's Republic. Enemy losses amounted to up to 110 military personnel. For vehicles, a British-made 155mm FH-70 towed howitzer, a 122mm Vostok self-propelled artillery mount, a 122mm D-30 howitzer, and 2 NOTA electronic warfare stations. Units of the Dnieper Group of troops defeated the formations of the 141st Infantry, 128th Mountain Assault Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, 106th and 108th Terrestrial Defense Brigades in the areas of the settlements of Kamenskoye, Belogorye, Mrnoye, and Pyatakaki, Zaporozhye region. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 140 military personnel, 2 armored combat vehicles, 6 cars, a 155mm Paladin self-propelled artillery mount made in the USA, a 152mm Giant B cannon, and a 152mm D-20 gun. The NOTA electronic warfare station, the US-made and TPQ-36 counter-battery radar station, and a field ammunition depot were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles, missile forces, and artillery of groupings of troops of the armed forces of the Russian Federation destroyed 2 launchers, and an MPQ-65 radar station of the US-made Patriot anti-aircraft missile system, and also defeated concentrations of manpower and military enemy equipment in 113 areas. Air defense systems shot down 2 US-made Adams operational tactical missiles, 4 US-made HIMARS missiles, and 74 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles, including 27 over the territory of the Russian Federation. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the following have been destroyed: 630 aircraft, 277 helicopters, 27,915 unmanned aerial vehicles, 554 anti-aircraft missile systems, 16,620 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,379 combat vehicles of multiple launch rocket systems, 12,120 field artillery guns and mortars, 23,870 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.